Ciao, hi, hey, hola guys, hola amigos, it's your boy M.K.S here back in another video. I'm live on Facebook and YouTube at the same time as per usual. Sometimes I'm not sure which screen to focus on, but I'm going to focus on the Facebook screen, although I press live on YouTube first. And a nice live story. I'm trying to go to I'm going to the Celtic game, although part of me wants to just stay at home and try and catch up on my writing and videos and things like that. But I'm going to go to the Celtic game hopefully. But I was just about to say, thinking about making this video, I was going to say one of my nice life stories, as I put it. But I'm going. I'll message my dad or whatever to come to watch the football, but he didn't get back to me. But he just called to say he can't make it. So nice life story. Um, but yeah, I put my phone away, so I try not to. I'm trying to avoid all the distractions. But hopefully, Celtic get the win tomorrow. Today, sorry, because yesterday. Sorry. Hopefully, Celtic get the win today because yesterday our arch rivals, our two main rivals, Hearts and the Rankers, or Farts as I call them, and the Rankers, won. So hopefully we can get a good win today because we need to win as many games. Well, I think we pretty much need to win all our games for the rest of this season. Um, I'm glad we're out of Europe so we can focus back. Nice right now. But I suppose I mentioned Celtic partly because of the Irish connection, but on St. Patrick's Day, I kind of had a dilemma because I would love, because it was the 17th, I'd love to have talked about my general imaginations and plans and dreams, like neurodivergent, to have a neurodivergent billionaires network and things like that. I'd love for them to benefit into home football and that kind of thing, but and Ireland as well and things like that. But also, I wanted to talk about Italian football, which I did, and I wanted to talk about St. Patrick's Day, but I don't want to make too many videos in a day because if I upload too many, obviously it comes across as spam, either by the viewer and or by Facebook or YouTube. So I might even have my channel terminated if I'm not careful. So anyway, today I want to focus on Ireland and plans to benefit Ireland as a sort of belated St. Patrick's Day. I suppose you could say present. I suppose as an anti-imperialist, as Ireland was colonised as well. Um, but yeah, so these are some of my ideas to sort of try and benefit Ireland. Um, so yeah, I've been a bit demotivated and struggling to make decisions. I suppose having too many ideas at once, too many ideas and plans and thoughts at once, has made it difficult. Even though I try and list things and things like that, struggling to get my ideas on paper, things like usual. But anyway, these are pointers number 1 to 10. I hope you enjoy them. So I'd love to know what you think about Ireland and what you think, basically what you think are some positive and negative things, negatives and positives, pros and cons and pros about Ireland and that kind of thing. And what you think of St. Patrick's Day, maybe even, I'm sure lots of people are not Irish, they celebrate it, it's at least an excuse to have drinks and things like that, I guess, people who drink alcohol, like for a Pepsi, but, and there's a conspiracy theory that there's alcohol in Pepsi, but anyway, here goes. So number one, I would love to support Irish businesses and encourage investment into and general support for Irish businesses on St. Patrick's Day. I hope that they get lots of sales of things like Guinness and things like that. And number two, I'd love to learn more about Ireland, and I'd love to encourage other people to learn more about Ireland and see what the world can learn about Ireland, but also what Ireland can learn from the rest of the world. Like Ireland, looking at different countries and thinking, oh, that economic model, I was going to say business model, but you could say overall economic model for the country works well. Maybe Irish businesses looking at what they could learn from businesses around the world as well. Um, and what they could teach each other and how they can network together. That kind of thing, and maybe Irish people around the world networking together. Also, I'd love to promote their tourism industry. I mean, many people say Ireland is quite a nice country as well, supposedly. So, if anyone's been to Ireland, please let me know what you think about Ireland, as I say, in terms of tourism as well. Not as a country generally, but if you've ever been, like, what are your experiences of Ireland, good or bad, I guess, it'd be interesting to know. I had a chance to go to Ireland a while back, but I was afraid of flying at that time, which I still am a bit, but I sort of feel the fear and do it, as a certain book says. They should pay me commission for recommending them. But on a serious note, yeah, there's a book called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. For those who haven't heard of it. But yeah, not that I read many books, but yeah, even though I'm afraid of flying nowadays, I kind of do fly. But when I had a chance to go to Ireland, I was too afraid to fly, so I didn't go. so I missed out on that time. But I think some of my roots are Irish. Even this surname Shenton, I mean, some say it comes from England, but I've heard it comes from Ireland. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, I'm pretty sure some of my roots are Irish anyway. But the reason why I support them in some ways is because of the fact they were colonised, um, and they lost a lot of their rights and freedoms and that kind of thing. But yeah, people to learn about their history and tour Ireland, and they learn about some of the things about empire and their history generally. I think that'd be interesting. Um, Also, talking about Italy and Ireland, Italy's unification day is the same as St. Patrick's Day, and um, I think it'd be cool to see what they have in common. Some of the things, like I'm not a big fan of Catholicism, but they do have that in common. Um, I suppose they're also republics, and they have the tricolor in common. Um, I think they're constitutional republics or whatever, things like that. So they have quite a few things in common. I'd love to know what you think. What are the similarities and differences between Ireland and Italy and Irish and Italian people? Many Americans have Irish and Italian blood as well. And that's something else I was going to say, but I'd love to support their tech industry and things like that, YouTubers and TikTokers, things like that, which I would have done on Tuesday, but I forgot, or I didn't get around to do that because I didn't organise my time. I keep sleeping too much. On that note, I was thinking, like, I'll say this in point number 3 because I'll crack on with the video. So, point number 3, one thing I was going to say in the intro, but I forgot, is so much from March to victory, or as I put it, March to very victory. So far, it's been more March to loss or March to very defeat so far, but it's not been such a good month. Well, and it's already not a huge amount of time left. It's already the last week of March, so it didn't work out quite as well as I'd like. Anyway, went here as well as I'd like, but I guess with my pessimism, my depression, it doesn't really help. But and my diet probably doesn't help either. But as I say, I support Irish people on social media, Irish YouTubers, TikTokers, and whatnot, especially YouTubers, and also support them because of loss of liberty and things like that, and find out and celebrate some success stories from Ireland, and that kind of thing, and how they fought back against colonialism. And again, I think the reason to support them is because they were colonised and lost liberty and things like that. But as ever, I'd love to know what you think. Um, Again, whether you've had good or bad experiences for anyone who's travelled to Ireland, it's really annoying me. There's something I was going to say and I've completely forgotten it. I'd say, yeah, I love how they have lower taxes as well. I'm a big fan of less taxes and more freedoms. A controversial one there, especially being a dole winner. But socialists and communists might disagree with me on that one. But I love that they're a republic as well. For republics, they're a constitutional democratic republic and that kind of thing. And maybe they could network with other republics and other democratic countries and things like that, and other former colonies and that kind of thing. Number 4, I hope they'll be able to avoid wars and things like that and promote peace and love. One idea I had, I called it Irish. I don't know where that idea came from, but EIRE and then Lush, LUSH. But I thought that could be a brand to promote Irish beverages and Irish products generally. Again, I don't know where I came up with that idea from, but maybe it's one of those where I read it somewhere and thought it was my own idea. But moving on, number 5, as I say, I'd love to benefit Ireland's economy. As I say, I would have talked about them on St. Patrick's Day and shared more on St. Patrick's Day, but because I was focusing on Italian football, because Italy's unification day, as I support Italy in the football, I didn't really get around to it. But yeah, I wish I had more energy and could wake up earlier and make better decisions so I could get things done. But yeah, I'd love to promote Irish businesses, tourism, YouTubers, TikTokers, social media influencers, basically, and all sorts of things that would benefit Ireland, especially on St. Patrick's Day. Again, I know it's a belated one, but better late than never, as in the description. But yeah, I'd love to see how Ireland can achieve its goals and how, as a nation and as people, and how they could support with their ambitions and things like how to benefit the Irish economy. I suppose especially in more diverse areas, perhaps, um, and less racist areas, perhaps, I guess. Um, yeah, maybe areas where they're more diverse, and also my fellow neurodivergent people, which I will come to a bit later. I love to support the Irish Dyslexia Association, for instance. But yeah, I'd love to support Ireland as a nation, like as a country, nation, whichever term you want to use, and Irish citizens with their aims and ambitions and that kind of thing. So if you know any of any Irish businesses, YouTubers, anything about Irish tourism or anything like that, please post anything about Ireland in the comments, either on Facebook or YouTube, preferably both. We appreciate that. And again, any facts about Ireland as well, anything like any information and experiences about Ireland, any of your own opinions about Ireland, and that kind of thing, or anything you'd like to learn about Ireland, even, or anything about Ireland, basically. The good, the bad, and the ugly as well, I guess. Number 6, I love for Irish people to support Italian football, including Ireland to invest in Inter Milan. Wearing the Inter Milan cap, for those who don't know, that symbol is for Inter Milan. But I support Italian football teams generally, but due to my use of alliterations, I love for Ireland, Indonesia, India, and places like that, so with I, to invest in Inter Milan. Although I guess it would be difficult, right? Somehow I'd love for even like Israel and Iran and Iraq, even rivals, to invest in Inter Milan, if that works. Um, yeah, I'd love to just sponsor and invest into Italian football. I'd love for Irish people to support Italian football and maybe look at what they have in common. Like, I don't agree with hate, but a lot of Irish people dislike or even hate England. Again, I don't agree with that, like hate or whatever, but I guess they could help Serie A, the Italian league, get back to the top and overtake. Well, I suppose at the moment it's Spanish league, but yeah, they could help Serie A and maybe La Liga. But obviously, I'd rather them support Serie A teams to help them overtake English teams. Maybe Italy could use that, and also look at what they have in common as well, as Ireland and Italy. I love to promote Italian football all over the world. But moving on, number 7, Celtic have the Irish connection. I can't remember if I said this earlier, but I didn't mean to say like I'm mentioning Celtic a lot, but also as Celtic are playing today, and Celtic is a Scottish team with an Irish connection, with Irish roots. So I thought it'd be quite fitting to talk about St. Patrick's Day this week, as it was on Tuesday, so just under a week ago. St. Patrick's Day, although it feels a long time ago, but I don't drink personally, so for a lot of people that go out and celebrate St. Patrick's Day, I more celebrate by sort of supporting Irish businesses and YouTubers, and googling things about Ireland, and I love to raise the profile of Irish businesses and that kind of thing. But yeah, it's a bit of a dilemma because Italy's Unification Day comes on the same day as St. Patrick's Day. If I could make like 8 videos, I suppose I'd make 4 on each, or whatever. If I could make 10 videos, I'd make 5 on each, or whatever. But also, I'd love to celebrate Irish sports stars and Irish sports success more generally. But again, just as I'd love for Ireland to invest in Inter Milan and to promote Italian teams like Inter Milan and others in Ireland and have more supporters from Ireland of Serie A teams like Inter Milan, also obviously Celtic, which already does have a big Irish connection, but for Irish businesses and Ireland to invest in Celtic as well. And I'd love for those of Irish and Italian descent to invest in Italian teams and to invest in Italian teams like Inter and other Serie A teams, and also to invest in Celtic. So I'd love for those of, as they have an Irish diaspora and an Italian diaspora, invest in those things. But again, celebrating Irish success stories in sports, business, social media, and other areas as well, and their tourism and that kind of thing. Number 8, I'd love to tackle racism in Ireland and look at what they have in common with countries that were colonised and how they can network with. I'd love for them to network with other former colonies. Again, I'd love to support more diverse areas where there's less racism and things like less prejudice and that kind of thing. Which hopefully would be in more diverse areas. Although I suppose it could have an opposite effect because maybe people are disappointed with excess immigration. But I hope to talk about like immigration, especially maybe on Monday, but especially on Migration Monday, but also on Wednesday. Like I thought the video title, without giving too much away, like they're not so welcome not so welcome to Ireland, but with a question, with double question mark, like, so asking, is Ireland welcoming, and that kind of thing. Many people say it is friendly, but there is a sort of raise something with excessive immigration, I guess. Moving on, number 9, I'd love to support and celebrate Irish poets, artists, and writers' works by people from Ireland, and things like that. And hopefully, many people from Ireland will get involved in the discussion on Facebook and or YouTube. And number 10, I'd love to support young people in Ireland, and hopefully the tax benefits and all that kind of thing will ensure that more young people are trained up. Maybe they could give even more tax benefits to companies like Microsoft and Google to invest in Ireland and train young people up in tech. And as I say, I love to support YouTubers and TikTokers. I guess the number 10 reminds me of like youth empowerment and development, that kind of thing. And yeah, 5 to 10 year plans as well, I guess. But yeah, I mentioned young people, point number 10 as well, because YouTube, because it's more of a young people's platform, I guess, in many ways, generally speaking. But supporting Irish YouTubers and TikTokers of all ages and Irish people on social media, and celebrating Irish success stories. And on that note, I'm out. Peace, love.